Hey, Elysa.
Yeah.
Elysa.
What?
Elysa.
What?
Elysa.
What?
Elysa.
No.
Guess what movie we're talking about today?
Oh, you're just gloating because yours got picked, so you're all.
We still got one
high-and-mighty.
more. We still got one more.
I know, it's probably going to be yours.
No,
It'll
I
probably
don't
be
know.
2 for 2. Yeah, it might be.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay,
We'll see.
so let's announce your pick.
So, I'm going to start off with a story. So, the year was 2006.
Oh, God.
And so, we are talking about Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And this is this is my pick for this entry. Obviously. I'm going to edit that out now.
Oh, come on. Come on.
And so, as you can tell, I am so fucking stoked to talk about a slasher for once. Elysa giving me the eye roll.
Oh, come on.
So I take it you're not a fan of this movie?
No, I am. Actually, you would be delighted because I did like this movie. I saw it when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was on... Back then, Netflix was doing like the DVD. I mean, you still can do the DVDs, but it was strictly just DVDs back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this sounds really interesting. So I did see it when it first came out, and I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, but then I kind of forgot about it.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of one of those like. It was such an interesting concept, so that's what attracted me to it, and it was different. But then like years go by, and I wouldn't really talk about it that much, and then I was like, oh, okay, and then rewatching, and I'm like, oh, I remember this. Like I remember the scene, and
well, see, that's the perfect example, though. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't really hear back.
You don't hear, yeah.
I mean, I do now with the 10th anniversary that just passed, and they had a screening down in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Egyptian
Theater.
I think it was the Egyptian Theater.
Mm-hmm.
They had a screening down there to celebrate the 10-year anniversary, and then they announced that they're going to be releasing a Blu-ray for Screen Factory.
I also heard they're doing a sequel,
which also got announced. And
with the same guy.
Yeah, Nathan Baesel, Scott Glosserman, Angela Goethals, all returning.
I wonder why it took so long.
Well, here's the thing. So, in 2006, this movie happened to come under this had the unfortunate circumstance of coming right after Hatchet.
Oh, so because see, I feel like Hatchet got so much notoriety.
Hatchet got a lot of notoriety
Yeah.
and a lot of shine.
Mm-hmm.
It was an indie darling for a while.
Still is too.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
cause it was DIY filmmaking,
Yeah.
and Adam Green, captured the old school essence of a slasher movie.
But I didn't love Hatchet.
I love Hatchet. I think Hatchet's a
Maybe
really
I have to
good movie.
revisit it because I don't remember loving it. I would have to watch it again. I would actually pick Behind the Mask over Hatchet.
I'd definitely pick Behind the Mask over
Yeah.
Hatchet too, just because. Okay, so Hatchet and Behind the Mask came out at the same time, which is unfortunate.
2006.
Yeah, and Hatchet was on a roll because they were doing festivals.
Yeah.
They were doing the MySpace campaign.
Oh, that's right.
Back when MySpace was a thing.
Yeah.
And then they started a group on Facebook, the Hatchet Army, on Twitter, Hatchet Army. Behind the Mask kind of got lost in the shuffle, and it was at some festivals and people loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the Mask got way more better reviews than Hatchet. And
I'm wondering if it's because Hatchet upped up their social media so much. Maybe Behind the Mask didn't do that.
Yeah, probably.
Could have been.
Yeah, most definitely could have been, because I remember seeing that movie, Hatchet, online a lot more.
Me too. And in magazines too, like Fangoria and all that.
And then that's another thing that helped it too, because Hatchet had the gore and the blood.
That's true.
And on top of that, it had Kane Hodder, which elevated it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but Kane Hodder makes an appearance in
Behind the Mask. Yeah. And so this movie comes out on the heels of that, and this movie kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
And it's sad because I do feel like it's not, so off the bat, this is not a typical slasher movie at all.
No, this is, like, I said this on our Instagram, and it's in my opinion that I think that this is one of the most clever slasher movies ever made.
Yeah.
And this is, even though it's a small movie, its ideas are ambitious as a motherfucker.
And you could tell this is a film for horror fans.
Yeah.
Like, for fans of slasher. Because it's not... it isn't such a. It's not. It's a funny movie. It's hilarious. Like to me, it's not. It's like a dark comedy. It's not the status like scary movie, like goofy, goofy, cheesy. This isn't cheesy. This is like, it's smartly written, but it is for fans who can predict. Oh, she's gonna fall there, and then cue the kill. Like it's very smart in how it lays everything out. I feel.
And then on top of that, he even shows you how he's gonna do it, and he even tells you. In the movie, he tells you this is what's gonna happen. It's
like a darker version of, or it's a funnier version of Henry.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, you know, like, what he's going to do and everything. But this one takes it up, like, on a comedy level. Yeah. But there is a dark side to it.
And so this movie, I absolutely love this movie. When I saw this movie back, I didn't see this movie for 4 years.
Oh, wow. So you didn't see it when it first came out?
I didn't see it when it first came out because it was hard to find.
It was
I could not find this fucking movie anywhere. And this is before I had, money in a credit card, and I didn't know where I could find this fucking movie.
And they didn't, because there was still video stores at that time.
There were, but they didn't have it.
So Netflix DVD was the only one that
I didn't have Netflix at the time. You know, I didn't even know about Netflix at that time. You know, I was still buying DVDs at Streetlight, and so I'm just trying to find this fucking movie, and then after a while, I kind of forgot about it, and then I remember reading an article on Bloody Disgusting as the 10 underappreciated horror movies. Yeah. And this was number 3, right behind the movie you hate, All the Boys Love Mandy Lane.
I don't hate. I just think it's overrated.
Okay, well, it's underappreciated nonetheless. And so, and I read the article and I was reading his review, and he was talking about this is a movie for slasher fans that you need to see. This is what a slasher is, and so you need to see this. And in the way that they broke it down in the article, and I was reading, it's like, fuck, I want to see this fucking movie. Yeah. Where can I find it? I googled it. I tried to find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. And so
how did you find it? How did you end up watching it?
So fast forward 4 years. So 2010.
Okay.
I'm just getting off work, and I'm waiting for the bus. I got time to kill. I got some money, so I'm like, I'll go to Borders for a little bit and see what I got.
I miss Borders.
Right?
They don't have Borders anymore.
No, they all closed.
No.
And so I went to Borders, and I was like, all right. So I just walked around, and I went into the DVD section trying to look for something, and I went into the horror section. They had a really good horror section in there.
Borders did have a good horror section.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh man, there's some really good shit in here. And then I see behind. I just see the word behind. I was like, is that
Snatch.
it? Is that it? I pick it up because I've been fooled before, and then I picked it up. I was like, and I see the fucking face, and I see the names. Like, oh my god, yes.
So you bought it then?
I fucking bought it right then and there.
That's a risk. Taking a risk to buy a movie before you've seen it.
Yeah, and so I was like, I gotta buy this movie. I need to see this because I already bought Hatchet at that time. I bought Hatchet as soon as it came out. When Hatchet came out, I bought that, and I showed all my friends that movie, and they all loved it. They're like, "Oh, this is pretty good." And so I bought Behind the Mask. I went home that night, got a pizza, got some beer, sat in my living room, turned all the lights off, and watched it. And I was completely fucking blown away. Like, I honestly, at that point in time, so let me give you some context. At that point in time in the 2000s, from 2000 on to like 2008, 9, I wasn't into horror movies anymore. I stopped watching movies because I was tired of the PG-13. Yeah. I was tired of the remakes. I was tired of all that shit. I was tired of watching, like, like the remake, The Prom Night, the Stepfather remake,
bad. So bad.
It's to me, like, shit like that.
That's when it really escalated.
Yeah, to me, that's what really turned me off to horror, and so I stopped watching horror movies for a while, and then I just kind of, and after a while, I kind of discovered, like, that's when I discovered other movies, like, from other countries. That's when I discovered Frontiers, Inside. That's when I discovered New Age Sensitive Killer. That's when I discovered Made in Britain. That's when I discovered all these different filmmakers and all these different films. Yeah. And I was on like an indie kick for about 6 years.
Because in America, we just had like, except this. Well, The Strangers is technically a remake of them, but it's so different in my opinion.
Yeah.
But in America, yeah, at the time we didn't really have a lot of originality. Everything was being remade.
Yeah, and so like, you know, I would go to like Blockbuster and rent these like these off the wall movies, and just like, these are pretty cool. And so I stopped watching horror for a good few years until 2007, when all of a sudden I see Frontiers. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at this wrong. I should dig deeper.
Yeah.
And that's when I discovered the classics, and that's when I started digging into it more. And then after that, I'm just okay. And then that's when I kind of upped my slasher game, and I'm just thinking about it. And then I saw Behind the Mask. I was fucking blown away. It. I don't want to say it changed my life, but it really kind of did.
Wow.
Like the way I looked at it, and the way they did it and wrote it, and the way they delivered it. They delivered it in a smart way where it never pandered to its audience. They did it in a way where it's like, look, these are the rules, and the people that you idolize, like Krueger, Voorhees, Chucky, Pinhead, Candyman, they're real people.
Yeah, I know.
They're real fucking people.
That was neat to see. And then even in the beginning, there's so much tribute to those movies. Because if you watch the interviewer in the beginning, she's standing under where it says the Rabbit in Red Lounge.
Yeah.
The Rabbit in Red is from Halloween. And then you see the Freddy house, and who lives there? It's Kane Hodder. And Robert Englund's in this movie.
Yeah.
So
Which is a nice touch.
It's a nice yeah, I wish he was in it more. I'll get into that. But it is a movie for horror fans. And like I said, it's not cheesy to the point like scary movie comedy cheesy. It is very funny though. It's a fucking hilarious movie because you're seeing it from the killer's point of view. He's giving everything away, but he's like funny about things, you know. And
can we just talk about how fucking great Nathan Baesel was?
Great. I wish he was in more. You know what he kind of reminds me of in this?
What?
I don't know. I mean, he's lost his hair since then, so he's kind of bald now. But in the movie, something about his face reminds me of Ethan Hawke. And I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the jawline.
It's like the goatee, totally like something like Ethan Hawke-ish going on.
Yeah, that strong jaw.
And the eyes, maybe the eyebrows or something. Yeah.
So, you know, his performance.
He was great.
If Leslie was not as charming, I honestly feel like this movie wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked. They needed
someone that was really charismatic and someone that really owned the screen.
Because if he was too serious, it wouldn't have worked.
No, it wouldn't have. Because if you would have placed if you would have placed anyone else, that was just not as good as Nathan, that just didn't have that natural it factor, this movie wouldn't have worked.
And he's very charismatic in this,
and he's just very likable.
Yeah, and he's a likable killer,
and he's doing despicable things, and yet toward the end when like they realize this is for real,
right?
It's like, shit.
Yeah, it takes a different turn.
And then, because that third act, it really does take a turn. And then it's
changes the content, for sure.
And it's like, oh, shit, this isn't fake anymore. This is real.
They're really in this.
Like, oh, shit. And now you're stuck because, like, you're trying to figure out, well, should I keep rooting for him, or should I...
Or for the crew.
Or for the crew that's trying to stop him.
Yeah.
And this had a very interesting twist.
Yeah.
And I think the twist gets lost on people.
I liked the twist. I'm glad they did the twist. Because if they didn't, it would have kind of fell flat a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, it took a completely different turn. Like, he knew the whole time who his girl was, who his final girl was.
And I honestly loved that. And I thought that... And when I saw that, I was like, oh my god. And then when he says, Taylor, it was always you.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
I know. I was cracking up because when he first takes them into like his... Is he in a van, right? He's like in a van or something?
Yeah.
And he's taking him, but he's like spying on this one high school group, and then like... It's not the girl Kelly, but it's another girl that he shows... And it's like, oh, did you feel that? She knew I was there. Or like, I don't know, like that whole scene was just hilarious. Like,
oh, there's a deleted scene. It's fucking hilarious. And I wish they kept it in too.
What was it?
So right after that, there's a scene where Leslie takes the group to a high school.
Yeah.
And he breaks down and says, look, what we do, we don't... he basically says, we don't wake up and fantasize about a girl and obsess about her all the time. And then Taylor, the journalist, says, well, that seems to happen a lot with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not what happens. You just need a girl that, that can tie people together. So, you see those jocks right there?
Yeah.
That's your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Nice libidos, good looking, They're the ones that's gonna bring the people in.
Yeah.
You see those kids over there, the stoners, they don't move quite as fast, but they're good to pad your numbers.
Yeah.
And then you see those guys over there, the geeky ones. Yeah, well, they're expendable, believe me. And then he's all, so you just need a girl that will tie them all together.
Who's a virgin.
Who happens to be a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
And then so there's a girl in a purple dress walks right by the Elm Street kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're in the ropes. Yeah, the white outfits.
Yeah, and so she walks and then she senses something.
Yeah,
and
that
she
scene.
She looks at him and is like, and Leslie's like, "Oh, did you get that? Did you get that?"
Yeah,
she
like, sensed I was there or something.
Yeah, and he's like, "Did you feel that? Like how we sensed each other?" Like, and then to me, like I think about like horror movies. I thought about that scene with Halloween.
Yeah.
When Michael Myers is outside of the window and he's looking at Laurie Strode, and then she senses it. She looks and then looks away and then looks back and he's gone. Mm-hmm. And I just keep thinking like, fuck, that's like
so
this
true.
is the behind the scenes look of what happens in that moment.
It literally is behind the scenes.
And so right after that, he's all, well, how do you know that? It's like, well, she's a virgin. Like, how do you know? Like, I just know.
I just know.
And so in the deleted scene, the crew goes up to her at her house.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, oh, excuse me, we want to ask you something about, like, sex ed or something like that, blah, blah, blah. So, and then Taylor's trying to ask her, like, so have you ever done, like, and she's, like, being passive-aggressive about it. Mm-hmm. And then she catches on, it's like, are you trying to ask me if I'm a virgin? And then she's like, okay, cut, guys, let's go. And they start booking. And then it's like, yeah, Leslie, you're right, she's a virgin.
Wow. It's funny because I could, like, the first time I saw this, I knew that, what's the blonde girl's name? The interviewer?
Taylor? Yeah.
I knew she was a virgin because at that scene where, and you could tell they had something going on, like, you could sense something.
Yeah. Because
after he says that, she looks at him and then it gets kind of quiet. So I'm like, oh, she's a virgin. Like, maybe she's gonna, like, I kind of knew just because I'm.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
Because I've studied horror films so much, I'm like, that's something.
I did pick up that she didn't drink.
Yeah.
And so when she didn't drink, I was like, oh.
It's like little clues that they leave you.
Yeah, and so like so there's a scene where they're at Leslie's mentor's house, Eugene.
Who is in The Walking Dead? Was in The Walking Dead.
Yeah. And who is rumored to be Billy.
So I was going to ask you, who is he supposed to be?
So he's Billy from Black Christmas.
I didn't get that reference at all.
So he says, so he talks to Billy. So when Eugene is talking to Taylor, and she says, you know, and then he's chopping up the carrots.
Yeah.
He's saying, you know, we just go in, we hit as much people we go, and then we vanish. Which Billy vanished. You don't know what happened to Billy. You never saw Billy.
But that's all they gave you on, because I didn't feel like
because there's more to it, but they're trying to say like he was the first slasher, and the first slasher was Black Christmas.
I wish they would have had, what was the girl's name in it? His wife.
Jamie.
I wish they.
And then she was a final girl that he didn't kill. So,
but that's not Black Christmassy enough because I wish they named her.
But she's not supposed to be from Black Christmas. She comes down later on, so she's supposed to be a future survivor girl.
I wish she called him Billy or that. Or
Eugene
something.
is supposed to be Billy in like those other no-name slashers leading up to Halloween.
Okay.
Because
I didn't get that from
then he says when you have like Mike and Jay and Freddy's or like. And they come back like a curse, you know, change the game.
I obviously knew he was like an older, you know, before the Michael and stuff. So I thought he was like Ed Gein because he's chopping up and like he like kind of lives in the country and. No, because like it's like there's evidence to support it, and there's even evidence to support that he's the toolbox killer too. Oh, the toolbox murder! I just saw the second one recently. That was terrible. Oh my god.
Was it?
Oh my god.
I need to see the first one. I haven't seen the first one.
The original or the remake?
The Tilda Hooper one.
The original. The remake wasn't that bad. I will say that Angela Bates, how do you say her last name?
Bates,
she's in it.
Oh, really?
Wasn't, and it's Sherry Moon, Rob Zombie's wife, is in the beginning. It wasn't horrible, the remake. But the original. I like Angela Bates, so I love her. The original's fucked up though, but they just did a second one not too long ago, and it was. You can get on Amazon.
So there's like a toolbox like in the back of his car.
Oh.
And then someone screenshots that scene and says, "Is Eugene the toolbox killer?" And Scar Glosserman tweets back, like, yes.
Wait, they show that in the movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like when he's telling Leslie to be careful at the end. It's a big toolbox on the backseat of his car.
I must have like checked my phone or something. I need to.
Terrible.
I know. No, I must have got distracted because I don't remember that.
Terrible.
But then why does he bury himself into the ground?
Because he needs to keep himself sharp. He doesn't know when he's going to be called into action. One
thing that's hilarious in this though that I always like joke about. When Leslie's giving like his routine, like what he does, he goes, "You know how much cardio I have to do?" And then he gives his little breakdown, like, "No, I got to make it look like I'm walking, but no, I'm running after these guys." That was so fucking funny.
And it was hauling ass.
Yeah,
he's all out of breath when he's doing that. Like, oh.
That was so great.
I kind of wish there's another deleted scene where he displays that to
Oh,
Taylor.
really?
Yeah,
they should have showed that.
It's so they're standing right next to each other. It's okay, Taylor, run toward over at the end of the tree. So the camera is set up at the end, and then the other guy's like sitting over here. So they're watching him, and Taylor's running, and then he runs right after her.
Oh my god!
And then when she turns, he stops and he starts walking.
That's hilarious.
And then she turns and runs again, and then he runs right after her, and she turns like And then one more time, she looks and she trips.
She's got to trip, right? You have to trip.
And then she's like, oh, because she wasn't looking. So she got stumped. And like, oh, shit. And he's like, see, there you go.
That's hilarious.
And then it's all funny because one of the camera crew guys is all like, that fucker's cheating. Like, what the fuck? But then he tells you, like, hey, man, that's what I got to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's like, says, I'm at a disadvantage. It's 1 against 6.
That's true.
I gotta do everything I can to get a heads up. A
head start.
Yeah, a head start on these people.
That's so fucking funny.
And so I really love the fact that the way they break everything down.
They literally do though, like everything, like the location, the students,
the legend,
the weapons, like setting it up, like they're gonna grab the first weapon that's accessible to them, so he like fucks with it. But they really did think of everything.
Yeah, and you could totally tell that this was written by someone that really loved slasher movies.
Yes, definitely a fan.
And really someone that studied the craft and was like, oh, okay. You know, when I feel like this movie did better than what New Nightmare was trying to do.
Yeah.
Because New Nightmare tried to do the same concept, you know, by bringing Freddy into the real world, by making him a real demon. Yeah. And someone that's possessing someone, you know what I mean? Like, I never understood that if Freddy possessed Robert Englund toward the end of the film, or if he ever killed...
I think he did, yeah, because he's painting, but you don't see, like, what he's painting.
Because then when Heather Langenkamp calls him, he says, oh, yeah, me and the family, we're on vacation.
Yeah, but he's, like, painting something, and he's on the phone with her.
Yeah, and it's Freddy. And so I feel like this movie does better at what New Nightmare was trying to do. And I feel the meta humor was a little bit more on point than Scream.
Well, that's what I was going to say, too. I feel like Scream fans will like this because of the rules. You know, that Jamie Kennedy, obviously, is the one that brought the rules, the 3 rules. So I feel like that was influenced in this a lot. And I feel like fans would like this, too, because of that.
Yeah, and, you know, the one complaint that I always see about this movie is the third act.
Because of the twist?
No, not because of the twist. Because it's not as bloody as it should be. It's not as violent.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not as it's a slasher film, but it's not a slasher film. Like, it's not gory at all. There's like barely any blood. I guess like the crew when they die.
Compared to Hatchet, like this film doesn't go over the top with the blood and gore.
It's not. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very subtle. Yeah. And so to me, I feel like
this could have been PG-13. Was it PG-13 or was
it radar?
It could have been PG-13 easily.
And so, to me, I was like, but then it would have not have been as charming, I guess. Yeah. You know, because you're still supposed to like Leslie Vernon at the very end. At the very end, you know what I mean? And I feel like if he was... And on top of that, I gotta think, he's not a fucking mangoloid. He's not someone that has super strength, so he can't,
he's human.
Rip someone's skull up.
He's pure human.
So he's trying to kill people by, the simplest way and easiest way possible. Yeah. And that's why he reads the Great Anatomy books. Yeah. And that's what he touches on, is all like, you gotta read that shit because you gotta know...
You gotta know what you're doing.
How to, you gotta know where to cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The one thing I did like the third act. I thought it would like it needed that. I feel like if it just was strictly like humor and it would have kind of like not been enough for me. So I did like they did make it darker and they trick you like no, it's the crew and it's the girl the whole time that he's after and he planned all of this. Mm-hmm. So I did like that. The one thing I will say that I did not like, I didn't like his mask. I did wish.
I loved his mask.
I wish the mask was better.
I thought the mask was great. I thought it fit.
Because I liked his overalls and stuff and like everything else and like his weapon, but I don't know, the mask I didn't care for.
No, I liked it.
It was too babyish looking. Like it looked like a baby face.
I liked it because it looked like it looked really homemade and it looked really cheap.
His makeup looked creepy though. Like
the tar.
Yeah, that was creepy.
I thought that was good. I don't know. I didn't really have a problem with his mask. I thought his mask was someone that.
It just wasn't creepy enough. It's not iconic, you know.
I think that's what you're trying to get at. I think that's what your point is that it's not iconic like.
It wasn't definitive
like the hockey
enough.
mask or the Myers mask.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see your point, but I didn't mind it really. I thought it worked for what it was because on top of that, you got to remember he's just starting out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Another thing too, I wish they had more because Robert Englund is like the psychologist and he's like the Dr. Loomis. Let's be honest. I wish he was in it more. They kind of didn't really.
They cut a lot of the scenes out.
They did.
Yeah. So for time.
Really?
Yeah, for time and for pacing. Because a lot of his scenes were just exposition scenes. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of scenes. There's a scene where he's like in the courtroom yelling and stuff like that. And it's also in the trailer. He's in the trailer yelling at the courtroom.
And they show him a lot in the trailer.
And so it's... And then on the commentary, Scott Glosserman, the director, he said, I didn't like that because then it felt like a different movie.
Oh, I see.
Because a lot of it was like found footage, and then you're trying to insert Robert Englund into the movie. Like, how does that work? You know what I mean? Are you gonna go flashbacks, stuff like that? And he says like it just didn't work. And like the pacing of the movie, when he came into the movie stopped.
So one thing I'm a little not confused. I just wish they added a little more on was why was he psychotic? Because he fakes that he's the son. But he's not really the son, so why...
For the same reason Eugene faked being Billy. For the same reason he faked being all those other slashers. Because he wants to be a legend of his own. Like, he knew well enough to know that Leslie Vernon died. Yeah. So, he knew well enough to know, like, you know what? Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take up this legend. I'm going to take up this mantle. And I'm going to make it mine. And I think that's what it was for him, that he wanted to be on the level of Eugene, really. Yeah. Because Eugene was his mentor. Yeah. Eugene was teaching him everything he knew. And he was saying, look, this is it. And he even those scenes, when they're together, it's very telling because he's walking them through it. Yeah. It's like, well, you know, don't get ahead of yourself yet because you need to focus, son. You know, or times like when he's sitting there like giving the Taylor game on how the slashers work. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, Leslie's there. He's like Eugene's not only, you know, spitting games at Taylor, he's also spitting games at Leslie. And so Leslie's also learning too from that. So he's like, okay, I gotta learn how to manipulate my victims. I gotta learn how to be quick-witted. I gotta learn how to talk. You know, I gotta blend in. Yeah. And so I feel that's what it is. And I honestly think Eugene is a little bit more central to the story than we think.
I need to rewatch those scenes because I didn't get that he was Black Christmas at all.
You didn't think he was Billy? There's a lot of theories.
Well, Toolbox Murders I can see, but not Billy.
It's not confirmed, but it is theorized that he is the first slasher, and the first slasher ever.
Peeping Tom the first slasher?
Well,
technically, yeah.
Will it be Peeping Tom?
I thought it would be, yeah.
No, because everyone credits Black Christmas as the very first slasher movie.
I mean, I could see that, but I thought Peeping Tom was before. Let me Google this. Hold on. And Peeping Tom is an amazing movie, by the way. If no one has.
Wouldn't that be ironic if he was in it?
It's Peeping Tom is 1960.
1960,
and it is a slasher, so Peeping Tom is the first. Yeah.
Huh. Well, everyone says that. I don't know. To me, I can see. I haven't seen Peeping Tom, so I can't speak to that.
That's a must. It's such a cool movie.
I did hear that movie ruined that director's career, though.
But it's such a it's such a crazy movie, and the way he kills people is insane.
Okay, I'm
gonna
have to.
With his camera, like it's crazy.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
I don't know where you can watch it. It's kind of hard to find, but it's an amazing movie. It's like you have to see it.
But people theorize that he is Billy from Black Christmas, and he referenced the sorority and the frat houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, and then he's also references that you get away,
which he did.
You get away and you do another job, and then
But technically, all the slashers, all the killers get away. Technically.
Yeah, no, but it's like, he was also saying, like, they get locked up, they get dead, it just cheapens
They get dead.
Get dead.
Get dead! Yeah. That's hilarious. But no, I mean, I guess I have to rewatch it, because, like, I didn't get that at all. And usually I pick up things like this, but I did not get that at all from him.
Well, I did, like, a lot of reading on this, and I was trying to think about, like, fan theories and stuff like that.
Huh.
Because there's a lot of theories about this movie, and some are plausible, some of them like, I don't know. But, the Black Christmas angle is the one I definitely can see. And then I could definitely see that, Eugene is a slasher. He's like the he's like the, he's like the grandfather. He's supposed to be the grandfather slasher.
And he's so great. It was Scott Wilson, that's his name, right?
Yeah. He's
so great. He was Herschel in Walking Dead, and he was great in that too. Do you think he'll be in the sequel?
Maybe.
Are they doing it where it's like before? Because I kind of heard some things. Like, is the sequel going to be like a prequel?
I don't know.
Because I thought that's what I heard.
I don't know. I did hear recently that they might follow the comic book, because Leslie Vernon has actually been immortalized by comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he has his own comic book, and it's a 6-part series. And so the comic book picks up, and it has a really great story that I think they should run with. And so at the end of Behind the Mask, he's dead, or supposedly. But then if you stay at the end of the credits, you see him rise up.
Yeah, it was a morgue, right?
Yeah, and he looks at the doctor.
Yeah.
And then it cuts. Great song choice, by the way, Psycho Killer. That was dope.
By the Talking Heads.
And so the comic book picks up about 2 years after the incident, and no one remembers.
Oh.
No one remembers Leslie Vernon. No one remembers the incident at that farmhouse.
Wow, that's fucked up.
And so the whole premise of the comic book is that, he did all this stuff, and yet he's trying to figure out, well, how am I not big?
Yeah.
How am I not a legend yet?
That's hilarious. Like, he failed. That's so fucking funny.
And so that's where they're going to go with it. And I hope they go with that, because that's an awesome storyline.
That is cool.
Because it's like I did all this work, and
I didn't get nothing out of it.
Yeah, and so they're actually trying to turn reality into art, because when the movie came out, it didn't do well. It didn't sell.
But now it's got such a huge following.
Now it's got a following. Now he's doing conventions, which I think is helping.
Yeah.
Scott Glosserman is a little bit on Twitter now. The movie's now on YouTube. It's on Prime. It's on Shudder.
Yeah, it used to be.
It got re-released on Screen Factory as a Blu-ray for the 10th anniversary. The 10th anniversary just passed a few months ago. So to me, it's like, okay, all these things are starting to pick up now.
Yeah, because like before, like you didn't really hear it, but like the last 5 years, that's all I hear are like horror fans. Oh, have you seen this? And like
because they finally saw it.
Yeah, and I think because this is the thing too, like access, right? It's so hard to find independent horror movies. Like, oh, if they're playing at festivals, well, they don't show festivals everywhere, or they don't show them in theaters. And if they are at like independent cinemas, they're only in the theater for like 2 weeks. Like My Friend Dahmer. Only playing for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to watch. But I think we're getting better at it. Like, they're doing on-demand releases. You can rent it on Amazon Prime. Like, I think it is slowly getting easier for people to watch independent horror movies like this.
Yeah, because now that they're trying to release at the same time on the theaters and on VOD at the same time.
Yeah.
Because they realized, like, 1,500 screens across America that, you could either live right next to the theater or you would have to drive to the fucking theater to see it.
I think people are realizing not everyone's really going to movies anymore. It's kind of slowly dying a little bit.
It is slowly dying, but I think it's dying because quality of movies.
Yeah. Well, like I said, everything is accessible now online, or it's trying to be. So it's like people don't want to pay $12 and then another $50 for popcorn at a theater when they can watch it in their living room for like less than $8.
I prefer going to the movies.
I do too.
And so to me, it's like, well, I've driven to Monterey to go see the Victor Crowley showing for the one night.
Yeah.
And Tiffany Shapus was there, and she did a Q&A.
Oh, wow.
And I fucking drove on a Sunday to go see that at 6:15 because it was a one night only showing. And then the following week, it was released on VOD.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm willing to go do that because I just love this genre so much.
Yeah, you want to show support for it.
And so if Behind the Mask, was going to be showing in Monterey, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going. Plain and simple. It's just that, But to me, it's like people are slowly finding this movie. It's slowly finding its audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's
more accessible.
I haven't been able to talk about this movie for a good fucking 10 years because a lot of the people that I know, I mean, I've shown this movie to a couple of my friends, and they liked it. They're not genre fans or nothing like that, but they enjoyed it. It's like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. I like this better than Scream. It did.
Oh wow.
This did what Scream was supposed to do. But it took you behind. It literally took you behind the mask of the killer and showed you the breakdown. And I think that's what they appreciate about it because they understood the rules and they understood. Oh, I get it now. These guys are just serial killers. They're not just actual supernatural.
To be fair for Scream, though, if Scream was never made, would this have been made? I don't think so.
No.
Scream set the bar for
Had
this.
not New Nightmare been made, Scream would have never been made.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah, because New Nightmare set the prototype.
But Kevin Williamson didn't write New Nightmare, and Kevin Williamson was like kind of his own thing back in the 90s.
Yeah, but he watched New Nightmare.
Yeah, and I mean he got Wes Craven to do
And then
Scream.
he also watched that that true crime documentary about the killer that was calling from the inside the house. And so that's what inspired him. That's what inspired the idea for that opening segment. Honestly, to me, I feel like if New Nightmare or Jason Lives weren't... Because I think...
Jason Lives was so bad.
I think Jason... The thing with Jason Lives...
so bad!
People don't understand that is a self-referential movie.
I get that, but I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
People don't understand that that's a meta movie. That movie is self-aware. It knows that it's a horror movie. It even winks at you.
Maybe it was too ahead of its time.
It is. That's where I was going with that. That's what people didn't understand. That it's like that's why it's kind of not the most revered movie, but it's not the most liked movie. But people come around to that movie and say, I recognize the genius behind this movie now.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if you watch it now with a different perspective, having watched New Nightmare and Scream, you see Jason Lives kind of set that tone first.
And I get that. Maybe I do have to revisit it because it's like it's the same thing with Halloween 3. No one back then liked it because Michael's not in it. But no, if you watch it, you see how fucking genius Halloween 3 is.
Yeah, and I still have yet to see that movie.
Oh
but
my fucking god!
October. I'm saving that for my 31 films.
That's like a must.
That's my 31.
We should do a whole thing on that because I visited up where it was shot. Took forever, and like I told you my story of just getting to that location. But I have photos.
Where you almost died.
Almost died like 3 times, and like. I took photos though, like it was super fun, and like I said, as a kid, I hated Halloween 3 because Michael wasn't in it, and then I revisited, and I'm like, this is fucking great. Like they kill kids in this movie. This is fucked up. And Tom Atkins, who's like the man. So
thrill me.
Night of the Creeps.
That is such a fucking awesome catchphrase. Thrill me.
Thrill me.
Boom.
That should be on like your tombstone or something.
I'm gonna start answering the phone like that. Thrill me.
But no, we gotta cover Halloween 3 because that's That's another thing.
That's on my 31. That's on my 31 films. So I'm gonna do that.
I do feel like Behind the Mask, it does have its cult following now, and I do think it'll continue to have its cult following. Yeah, and for sure.
You know, they also, I think it was last year, they tried to self-fund a sequel.
Oh,
which didn't work.
It was like Kickstarter.
Yeah, it was Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. And so they tried to fund the sequel. I don't know if they reached their goal or if they failed or not, but I remember Scott Glasser saying, oh, the sequel's not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. But Fast forward to March of this year, there's a picture of them at the table doing a table reading. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, shit.
But he looks so different. Like, have you seen what he looks like now?
Yeah, I follow him on Twitter. And
he looks different. So I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What happened to your hair, man?
His hair's like gone. I don't know, but maybe they'll give him like a hair piece.
Maybe they'll try. Maybe they'll just go shaving and make a joke out of it.
They might shave it. Yeah.
It's like, hey, what happened to your hair? I got burned off. It'll play very well with the story. It'll play, yeah. Because there's no way in hell his hair was fucking fire retardant.
No. The whole fire retardant thing that he. But yeah, but no, I do enjoy this movie. The first time I saw it, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I was like young. I was 2006, so I was like in high school, or no, I just graduated high school. But yeah, like I liked it, but now rewatching it, like I appreciate it more now. I think because it is such a horror fan film.
A lot of people are starting to appreciate it, which I think is really great.
Yeah, and this is a fun movie to watch with friends as well.
Oh like, hell yeah! Like especially genre fans.
Yes.
Like you watch this with genre fans, like you know, we'll all be rating. Oh, look at that! There's a bunch of Easter eggs in this movie too. Yeah. Which is like pretty great.
And you know how when people go, annoying people go to the theater and they go, oh no bitch, like run, or she's gonna trip, or this answers all those questions, so you don't have to say anything because it all does it for you, pretty much.
It does, and then it invites you to do that too, which is great.
Yeah.
Because again, like I was saying, this doesn't pander to its audience. It knows what it wants to be.
Right.
It never insults your intelligence. It says like, we know that you're an intelligent group, but at the same time, we're gonna wink at you throughout this whole entire movie. So are you gonna be able to keep up?
Are you gonna keep up? And they answer everything. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
And I really like the transformation. I really like how they break down the final girl. To me, I thought that was great.
I thought that was really cool.
And it explained a lot about the closets, the hallways. You know, like yonic imagery, and he was like breaking it down. He's saying like, you know, the woman has to go through a physical pathway in order to be reborn. Yeah. And that's something that I never understood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never got that before watching this movie.
That's
like,
funny.
I just thought like, oh, well, she's had enough.
Yeah.
I never understood, you know, how come they just didn't go in the closet? Or why is she not fighting back yet? It wasn't until like I watched this movie and then I realized they have to go through it before to do that. They actually have to lose their innocence in order to be someone, to be a survivor. Because that's the only way you can survive, is by losing your innocence.
And what's hilarious, I love the part where he's like going step by step and he goes, oh, I nailed shut the
windows?
The first 4 windows, but not the top, because obviously that's when they're going to break a window and come out on the top, and then they're going to land, and then... But like, the way he explains it, though, is so freaking funny.
Like, yeah,
this is so true.
I cut off all the big branches, you pre-cut the small ones, so any weight will give.
Any weight will give. It's so hilarious how he, like, explains all that, though.
And so... And I also love when he, like, teases Taylor, because then he makes her feel uncomfortable with this one scene. He's all like, after she says that... Because I guess after the closet imagery, like she's all, so Leslie, it's safe to say that you're pro-life. and then he says something else, and he says anyway. So he goes on, and then he makes another thing, and then she says, "Oh, so you're pro-life and a chauvinist."
Yeah, yeah.
And he's all, gotta respect it, okay? So just relax. It's convention. Just relax. And then he's all, look. So this is what she does. She has to grab, and she kills me with cock.
That's true though.
And she's all like, she's
getting all like frustrated.
No, I think she got flustered, and she's like, because I made her uncomfortable. Yeah. She's like, what?
Yeah.
And then and he puts his hand on her leg and is like, Tay, it's okay. She kills me with cock.
Yeah.
She takes my manhood.
My manhood.
And that's when she says that. It's like, oh, so you're a chauvinist and pro-life.
Yeah.
And then she's like, look, you don't gotta like it. It's just convention.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, she reaches for something phallic. No, she reaches for my cock.
It's true though.
And it's funny because like he's all like, think about it. No survivor girl has ever killed a monster with a gun.
That's true. Newer ones they do.
With a handgun.
Yeah.
You know, like a shotgun or whatever. Then yeah.
Except Miss 45.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can count that as a slasher though.
She's a killer in it. I don't know.
We're gonna have to have a discussion on what a slasher is.
Well, I see your point, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
well,
that's another topic.
Yeah,
we can do that with revenge.
I think that was rape revenge movie.
Yeah.
But so to me, I just felt like that was funny, and also that's another thing I didn't pick up on.
What?
Like, you know, they always kill something. They kill those monsters with, you know, a knife or an axe or a bat.
Yeah,
or something phallic.
like a cock shape. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you know, this movie helped me through the line. So now I'm watching all these slasher movies, and I'm thinking about everything.
Yeah.
Now.
And you see how it all adds up.
Because I remember telling you before, I love slasher movies, and I never really gave much thought to them. I just loved how they were just killing. I just used it as just like, not like an outlet, but just like, remember how I was telling you, as a being bullied kid, I relate to the shape.
Yeah.
But just because he was just like murdering and all these kids, but I never thought about the actual science behind it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh shit. So now I'm watching and now I'm thinking about, now every time I go into a slasher film, I'm always watching for either the survivor girl or the final guy going through a passage.
Yeah, and they do,
and being reborn.
It's like a baptism. It's like, yeah, being reborn.
And so, you know, they're being baptized in blood.
Yeah.
And so now I'm always looking for that now. Mm-hmm. Now every horror movie, I'm always just thinking about that. Like,
it's true.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I never thought about like that. You know, as a horror, like I saw Scream when I was young, but I was so young when I saw that.
And that's such a psychological one, though.
Yeah, but I was so young when I saw that. I was like 15.
Yeah.
When I saw that movie, I couldn't appreciate what they were doing behind it. I can appreciate it now.
Yeah.
But back then, I didn't really appreciate it. I just thought it was a scary movie.
Yeah, but then you see the story and like, oh, this is fucked up. Like, they raped and killed my mom, for God's sakes. Like, so she's going through all that, you know. So that was, Scream to me is just like a really heavy slasher. And yeah, it's fun, but the backstory with the rebirth thing, that's a very heavy storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's, I don't know. I love this movie. To me, this movie kind of changed the way that I've seen slasher movies in general.
Yeah.
I completely love this movie. This movie's inspired my boogeyman persona, so to speak, along with Frank Zito. But this movie right here really kind of helped me, like, not find my voice, but kind of helped me stride the way that I wanted to go, because this was a movie that made me want to make a horror movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Made me want to write horror stories and stuff like that. So this was a movie that was like, I can do this. Like,
yeah.
I want to do this shit. Like,
it inspired you.
And so I was just like so creative, because everything here was just like everything was fabricated. Because he wasn't real, the legend wasn't real,
right?
All that stuff wasn't real. I'm like, yeah, I want to do something like this. That'd be fucking cool. And then he also inspired me to write a song. I was actually inspired to do a music video about this, because I had a song using clips from the movie.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And so actually had the idea of having the boogeyman, my boogeyman persona, and have like someone doing the interview just like Taylor.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And so, like, then I'd be doing my verses and stuff like that, and then during the hook, cuts to, like, the interview person breaking down the backstory. So I had that all written out, and I was like, this is fucking cool. Like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And so, I still might do that, but...
You should.
With like, copyright and the whole fandom thing, with the YouTube apocalypse.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how well that's gonna play, you know what I mean? So, I do want to do that at some point. But yeah, this movie did inspire me a lot and just made me appreciate the horror genre. Yeah. To me, as a horror fan, this was no better love letter than this movie.
Yeah,
to
it's
me,
definitely a love letter.
Yeah, this is a love letter to the horror genre
Yeah.
and the community. And, you know, it's great that I could finally find someone to talk to about this because for 6 years I couldn't talk to about it on my other podcast because no one saw it.
No one has seen it.
I was like, and they're not horror fans. I'm like, ugh.
But I think even like non-horror fans would enjoy this too.
Yeah, like I said, I showed 2 people that weren't horror fans, and they completely
If you like comedy, you'll like this.
It is smartly written.
Yeah.
And people will enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know?
So you're excited for the sequel? Are you nervous or excited, or both?
Maybe both, but I would have to get context because I want to read the comics first. So I'm waiting for that 6th one to come out next month so I can get all 6 of them and go through them and see where they pick up the story. But other than that, you know, I am excited, but I am nervous.
Yeah.
Because you have such a legacy to live up to now.
I know, and sequels are hard. But
Sequels are hard.
Maybe that's going to be like their focal point.
And the thing is, too, with sequels, is that you gotta break the rules. That's my only thing.
Yeah.
That horror movies tend to break the rules on sequels.
Yeah.
Yet most of them don't do that. Like if you want, like Scream 2.
Yeah. Which I'm not a super fan of.
Yeah, but you know, he also established like, you know, no one is safe.
Yeah, they fucking broke it with Randy, I'll tell you that. That pissed me off. And
I honestly felt like Neve Campbell should have died in that one.
Fuck no. Neve Campbell's the girl.
She needed to die in that.
No. How dare you say that? You take that back right now.
Because, you know, her story should have ran its course right there.
No. You can't do that to Neve. No.
Yeah, you should have.
No.
Or maybe have her... Well, we'll talk about this off because then we're going to go on a whole fucking tangent. But yeah, you know... So is this Bump in the Night improved or no?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Alright, we need to have like a hashtag or like a Photoshop. Hey, producer, you need to start doing that. She's gone.
She's gone.
Alright, but yeah, that's it. That's our third movie.
What's your rating on it though?
5 Z's.
Really?
Yeah, it's 5
okay.
Z's.
I'll give it like a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5?
Yeah.
I'd take that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, again, it's when I saw it, it made a real impression on me, and it influenced not only what I wanted to do, but it also influenced my music. And then I rewatched it last night, and I was like, "Fuck, this movie still holds up."
It does still hold up, but you know what I hope they do for the sequel though?
What?
I hope they really like diss the remakes. Like I hope they kind of work that in there somehow.
Oh, that'd be good.
Because Scream 4 kind of tried doing that. You know, like, oh, everything's a remake these days, or everything is, like, unoriginal. There's no originality anymore. So they were kind of, like, trying to remake everything. So I hope they kind of, like, dig into that. Maybe even prequels, too. Who knows?
You know, originally Scream 4, Sydney was supposed to be the killer.
I know. And I kind of wish they did that.
Because I think that would have, like, made the movie a little
There
bit
was
better.
a lot of issues with Scream 4. Like, they didn't get script pages until the day of shooting. There's a lot of issues, but that's another
I think we need to have, like, a Scream podcast for sure.
But we need to do our things, but where's our producer?
Yeah. God damn it.
I know.
So, as this movie... What do you expect from the sequel?
So for the sequel, I hope... Well, because that's the thing. I don't know if they are going to go the prequel route, but I hope they do keep the comedic tone, but it's not so cheeseball. Like, I hope
It's the same cast and crew, so I'm pretty sure, you know, the tone's going to be consistent. So
I hope
so. You know.
So I want that consistency, and I want it to be... where it is kind of like a dig at remakes, and I want it to be very cleverly written in that sense. And
so does that make you nervous or excited?
I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. I'm nervous because it's been so long since they've done the first one. It's been like, what, 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
So that's a long time for a sequel. So, and I know if you take too long of a break, sometimes it's stiff. So I hope they kind of like take those omegas and loosen up those joints because... You know, like I always think of it like, look at Full House. Like they did Fuller House, right? Not the same. It's very stiff. It's not like, even though it's the same crew or even though it's the same cast, it's not. I don't know. So like I always worry about that when they take such a long time.
They're all. I think what doesn't help is that all that the cast they all kind of went their own way, and especially Jodie Sweetin.
Yeah.
She kind of fell on hard times.
She did, yeah.
And Cameron kind of went like the Christian. Is she a Christian?
No, her brother is.
His brother,
yeah.
right? Okay, but it's just like the dynamic's not there anymore
Yeah.
because they all grew apart.
Yeah.
So I feel that's why it doesn't work as well.
Could be, but you know what I mean, though, right? Like if you take too long, sometimes it's like I don't know. But I'm excited though. I'm really curious to see.
Yeah, Nathan Baesel is actually doing a lot more interviews on podcasts now, which is good. So at first he wasn't doing stuff like that.
Yeah, he kind of didn't really.
He didn't really show up.
Yeah.
So.
But we're ready to do our next draw. So we don't have a hat right now, but if you want to just use it.
Where's my hat?
I don't have a hat. Do you have a hat with you?
It's in the car.
We can just do the hand shuffle. So this is going to be our last one, right?
Oh, yeah, last one.
This is our last shuffle for Dog Days of Summer.
You gotta do your 31 films or your 15 films.
Yeah, just need to pick one more. But I'm at 14. Yeah.
Okay, I got mine.
You got yours already?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be the last pick. I hope it's one of mine.
It's yours.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's yours.
What is it? Dun dun dun.
And the movie is Night of the Comet.
Yay! This is a fun movie. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't
Oh
seen
my
it.
god, it's such a fucking fun movie. Super 80s.
All right, so let's
super fun.
What
Night
were
of
the
the
other
Comet.
movies?
Yeah, what were the other ones?
Laid to Rest.
I haven't seen that.
The Hills Run Red.
I haven't seen that one either. Those sound like newer movies.
Your favorite.
I can't
You want to
read.
announce that one?
All the dildos love Mandy Wayne.
You want to call them dildos because they're not real enough to be dicks.
What did I just watch recently where they just saying dildos? Oh my god, it was so fucking funny. What was it?
And then Pin.
Oh,
Pin.
Pin, that's a good one.
I heard that was
mine.
great.
Yeah, that's a really underrated movie. Super underrated.
Oh well, so Hills Run Red, Laid to Rest. Well,
I haven't seen those.
Those are great fucking.
Are they
movies.
newer though?
Yeah,
They sound newer.
Yeah, they're about new. About 2008, 9.
Okay, but Night of the Comet, I don't know where it's streaming. It used to be on Amazon. They take things off, man.
Come on!
They take things off. I can't.
Oh my god!
It might be on Shudder. But I don't know. They take things off. I can't control what the media does.
What did I tell you?
I can't control it. You can probably get it on YouTube, Amazon.
You? Man, you're like the producer. You don't follow the fucking
Oh my
rules.
god, they take things off. It's not my fault. But it has way more easy access now. Like back then, you couldn't even find Night of the Comet. But I'm excited to watch that. I love that movie so much. It's super fun. Super fun one-liners too.
No, it's not on Shudder.
They took it off. It's on Amazon and YouTube.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, that's the last time I watched it was on YouTube. Good old YouTube.
1984.
Mm-hmm. 1984 was a good year.
Prime Video, $4.99.
Okay.
All right, so that's so next week we'll wrap up our Dog Days of Summer series with Night of the Comet, and after that, oh man, we're gonna have a fun time because we are doing our 31 films.
That's so many.
31 films.
That's yeah.
So we're doing 15 each.
15 each, yeah.
I've got 14 right now.
I got 31 already.
Well, because I mean, there's so many, but I like to stick with the Halloween theme when I do these.
Which we'll talk about a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But
I do have 31. I will start posting some of them on our Instagram.
Okay.
Because when we start, it'll be the second week of October.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna start posting the first 5 or so. So
Okay.
if you got some you want to send my way, I'll post them up. Or if you want to post,
I'll post them. Yeah.
you can do that. Other than that, man, I'm Johnny Zuko.
And I'm Elysa. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh my god, really? Like
What?
that was terrible.
I'm like, that beer's hitting me right now.
I'm
Right?
Elysa.
And it must be like 3 o'clock because my energy. Yeah, it's almost 3.
Scary.
Oh my God.
My energy level goes.
Especially since it's fucking hot outside too.
It is. It's like 90 degrees.
It's like
yeah.
we're suffocating in the
I
crypt,
know.
crypt right here.
It is the crypt. Crypt Keeper.
Alright, so Johnny Zuko for Elysa. We are out.
Stay scary.
Stay scary.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.